81 metric tons. Actually, it calculates with the formula. We have formulas, special formulas for each product. For example, in order to produce a certain grade, we need this, and in some quantity. So, according to the November's plan, we should have purchased 81 metric tons of this grade. In our stock, we have 31 metric tons, and it shows how much do we have to purchase now. So here is the plan, and how much, and this is the demand for how much do we have to purchase. So what else? Usually, in order to calculate the demand for a month, our engineers spent about 1 day, almost 1 day, at least half of the day. But now, currently, whenever it takes like 15 minutes in order to know how much the demand for the raw material and demand for the product itself. Also, after, for example, implementing the sales plan, so we know how much material do we have to purchase. What is also interesting here is here is we have also the maintenance part also. For example, we did a lot of paperwork in order to construct a maintenance plan for 1 year. But currently we have implemented such kind of a calendar where we, for example, input the works which has to be done for the entire year, and according to this calendar, for example, the engineers, they open up, for example, their maintenance work that has to be done for a month, and then they see what they have to do, and what has been already done. For example, with the green color, it's displayed the works that are already completed. The yellow one is a plan, and the red one is we don't have it because all the works is already completed. And of course, sometimes we have extra works which might occur during the production, and then, as you can see here, they are indicated in the gray color. And we also can see in order to calculate the efficiency of the production, all the stop lines are, for example, recorded here. For example, we have some errors due to the insufficiency of the raw material. If we have some broken part in the lines, all of them we are indicating here, and then here I think can see how much, for example, how much time during certain months. We can see how much time we have worked and produced, and then what was the output and what was the product output, whether it was whether the quality was okay or not. So we also measure that kind of the data also. So what else? The quality control.
Sarvar, do you have anything on the sklad, on your warehouse?
Yes.
Yes. Today we covered the topic on inventory management. Maybe you have something to show. How do you control inventory or?
Here, I think you cannot find anything that you have covered today. I think you have you went through the FIFO method, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, we talked. Yeah, we talked FIFO LIFO last week. Today we talked about ABC inventory, and we talked about EOQ, economic batch quantity or manufacturing quantity, and things like that.
Yeah, but here I cannot show anything about these methods. But here is only we track here. Actually, we have this table on the. We had this table on the Excel, but we tried to automate it in order to. Actually, all the entire system is correlated with each other. For example, here we just add and deduct the material, for example, which is given to the production or and from the production which the product which is transferred to the finished good products. Here is we just do the records. For example, we add or deduct due to the changes in the raw material. But of course we use those methods, and we use the FIFO method. We have in the stock, we have a special area for each specific product or specific raw material. We have a, for example, area which is identified for in, so the product only enters through the in line and then out from the out line. Here I cannot show you it, but whenever we will have a plant tour, I can display. I can show it so that it will be more clear.
Sarvar, your camera is off. And okay, but for example, you have your inventory, right? You have the information about what's in your warehouse. When do you know, for example, at what point do you make the order? I mean, what is the minimum limit for your inventory in the warehouse? Is there such a thing?
Well, according to the requirements of GM, we usually should have at least 1 month inventory. But currently in pandemic period, it's really hard to keep such an inventory because everyone has a lack of money, and then with the financing, they have really troubles to cover. For example, we ship out, they have to pay 100% advance payment, but they don't have it. That's why currently we only having at least 2 weeks inventory. But here it's not displayed. We measure that what you are asking. We measured on the according to the plan, which was shown in the procurement department. Let me show it. So so as I said, there is a requirement of Uzauto to have a 1 month inventory, but currently we don't have an. For example, we cannot afford to have it like 1 month inventory due to the issues with the financing. That's why we can only have at least 2 weeks, and then. But here I cannot. I don't think that I can show it here.
It's okay. It's okay. We got it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, how many students we have? Oh, 11 left. Any questions? Any questions, comments, concerns, regards? You can turn your microphone if you wish. Firuza, Bunyod, Shahzad, Alina, Camila, anything? We have Michael here. Where is Alek? Any questions? Wow, Michael is Alek. Alek, any questions? Pop in some questions to Sarvar. Sarvar, maybe you have questions to the students.
I don't have any questions. So if you have some questions, so I will try to answer to them.
Okay, did you have favorite interesting questions that interest students? Did you have any business trips over your 4-year of career?
Yeah, of course.
Where did you travel?
I traveled a lot. I traveled to Korea, Germany, China, of course, Russia, Kazakhstan, and CIS countries I visited a lot, especially especially when I transferred to the sales. So I visit a lot of clients to have some negotiations, and I visit a lot of exhibitions which are related to which are related to our field.
So if you look at the exhibitions, for example, in Germany, China, and Russia, which country is the best?
Of course, Europe is incomparable. But Chinese, they are also they are doing their best. So, and then, of course, they are doing it for cheap, and they are trying to compete with the Europe, but the quality is not as in Europe. But a lot of European companies have their own factories in China in order to minimize the cost, in order to decrease the cost and compete with the Chinese company. They open up their fields in there.
Do you think we need more factories here in Uzbekistan?
I think yes, because the factories are the drives of the economy.
Yeah, I wish we have more factories as well.
Yeah, the factories which can correspond to the international standards, especially. Of course, we have a lot of small even factories, but I don't think that you can take your students and to visit their factories.
I mean, this year students are not going anywhere, so am I. But in past, we used to go to GM Powertrain, we went to Coca-Cola, we went to Artel, and we went also to Carlsberg. So Artel was quite impressive, but in terms of the quality standards and compliance, GM Powertrain was amazing plant. Students like it. They wanted to go to Osaka, but like we could never because it's far. And of course, Carlsberg has very good system, and they also buy us with the free zero alcohol beer, so students really like it. I have a question from Malek here in the chat. He's very attentive. He's asking you the question. There was one table in Uzbek that you showed us, but others were in Russian. So why the table was different? Russian.
Actually, the tables which were in Russian, they were done in it was done by me because I'm not good at Uzbek. I mean, especially in writing. But the other parts, the most of the people who work as engineers and in the production field, they usually use Uzbek, which is more comfortable for them. I try to use English because I work with foreign partners, and then for example, when we even have an audit, all the documents must be prepared into English because the auditors which are coming for the audits, they are foreigners, and then I spend a lot of time for the translation sometimes. That's why it's better to have it in English, but not all the employees know English.
So basically you have whatever language you feel comfortable in working in, as long as you work, you use the formula, right? Alek, Russian, Uzbek, English, doesn't matter. As long as you do the
Yes, it depends on the employee. If for him or for her is comfortable Uzbek or Russian, it depends on her. It's just the work has to be done properly. It doesn't any. It's not important in which language is the document.
Okay, I have one more question. The question is, how were you employed?
I was employed. It was a very interesting story. I graduated from the institute, and I had very big plans. I went to US. I was planning my master's degree there. I went to US for 1 or 2 months. Yeah, I've been for 2 months there. I tried to apply to the universities, and some of them accepted me, but as a fee was very huge and I couldn't afford it, I decided to come back and start working. I came here. I tried to look for some jobs to do, and then one of my friend called me and told that this kind of company is hiring fresh students or whatever, the specialists. Please try. And I sent my CV. They called me to an interview. I came here for an interview. I passed through the commercial director. I passed through the general director, and they decided to accept me as an intern. I had an internship for 1 month, and after 1 month I was accepted, and then I started in sales. I worked for 1 year, and then I transferred to the quality control. I worked there 2 years, and after 2018 I was promoted for the commercial director, and I'm again in sales.
Was there any criteria that they employ you for the interns? Do they have any criteria for the interns?
At that time, it was, I think, not very. They didn't have any specific criteria. Of course, I didn't have any experience at first. I was a fresh graduated student. I was a fresh graduate, yes, and then I think whenever most of the employers in Uzbekistan evaluate us and international students, they think Westminster and NDIST students, they only know English, and this is their very specific, a key factor. So I think I was accepted due to I knew English. And it's, of course, it hurts us, I think, and you all, I think you will come through it.
Sarvar, what is your major? They're asking.
I studied business. I studied entrepreneurship and management.
Sarvar's specialization is entrepreneurship and management. Sounds good. So basically, Sarvar, make an offer. Do you have any vacancies right now, or maybe internships? You can make an offer now. I think there are some interest.
Yeah, we are open. For example, we can take as an interns for the procurement department. Of course, if some of you are interested in engineering, especially in polymer engineering, you can try also. We are always open for the fresh people with open minds, and yeah, I can give you my contacts, so you can contact me via Telegram. I can share my email.
That would be good, Sarvar. Maybe you might want to write in the chat how students can send their email, or to what email they can write their CVs for consideration. I think it would be interesting. And ladies and gentlemen, do you have any other questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, the email is here, is s.isaboev@autocepla.uz, hr@autocepla.uz. So if you're interested, you can, I think you should send your CVs and try to work in the factory, right? Thank you very much. If there are no further questions, I wanted to thank Sarvar for your time, for your interesting presentation, and just for sharing your experience. I think it's very valuable when you know, I'm able to invite some of the graduates, some of my graduates who are working in manufacturing to my classes. And I think it's a little bit different, whereas we invite some other person from the industries and they're obviously older and they come from a particularly like really different system than what we are in and what our students in. So I very appreciate your time. I'm glad that we are able to link what we teach and what actually is done in the practice is actually we are going very tight, because usually like in the past when I taught the quality management or operations management in the past, it was very challenging because we wouldn't find manufacturers that, for example, would use the international methods. For example, all they would use would be ISO standards. But today I saw some examples of control charts, I saw examples of Pareto chart. For example, some of the factors we went to also use the defect rate calculation and control charts, but they were not as visually and well represented as you represented them today. I really wanted to thank you once again for that. I appreciate your time. I'm very proud of my graduates. As someone wrote it in the chat, I'm always proud with my graduates. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for participating. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and take care.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.